Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we are going to be putting some more modulars back into the city here and hopefully getting some of the roads as well as the track and other infrastructure pieces done as well. So if you guys have no idea what the heck is going on, if you haven't watched one of my videos recently, I will put the most recent one in the top right here. Recently, we've been making a whole bunch of changes. I took every single thing off of the table. We had a complete clean slate, and now we are back and we are putting some more stuff on. And so we're starting over. And so pretty much, if you watched that last video, you'll notice that already I made some changes. And so I'll show you guys that right now. So in that previous video, I had the boutique hotel here, space for a road, and then the museum was right about here, and then I had another road behind it, and then the Grand Emporium and the Jazz Club. The Natural History Museum is over here now, and I'm thinking maybe put a park out front of that. I think that could be pretty cool. And then maybe we have two green base plates, and then over here would be the botanical garden. I think that would be a pretty interesting thing to do here. But let me know what you guys think about that because, well, for one, I don't own the botanical garden yet. I might actually pull the trigger on it in the very near future. So that is something to look forward to as well. I will probably wait for double points though, but hopefully that is soon. And so the road will go here. It'll just continue with that. And then I'm thinking a road here as well. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I still don't know what to think of this block here, to be honest with you. It's okay, but I feel like it could be better. So we're probably going to try a couple different options in this video. And also we're going to try a different layout regarding that back section as well, because there's a couple of other things that we could try over there that I think might look a little bit better than how it's laid out right now. All right, so in the back here, I had talked about this a couple of times previously that I wanted from left to right here would be the main line, a siding, and then a full base plate for buildings. So let's say this is right about there. Just pretend that that is level and that would be a building. And then the double wide road would come through here. And then we have the buildings right over there and then so on and so forth. But what I've actually been considering is removing the siding and just completely getting rid of that. And then this can come back here. And then this road can move 16 studs this way. And then we can have full base plate buildings here. So then I wouldn't need to have a half base plate depth for that building there. It could be a full base plate, and I think that might just make it look a little bit better because as it is right now, I don't think that it looks that great with just the 16 studs of depth. And that's just the base plate. And then once you get to the actual building itself, it's only like 10. So not a huge fan of that, and I don't want to have to make two of them for this. I think it would be better off if we did this. As for the apartment building, I don't know what would happen to that. Obviously, it's going to have to move over 16 studs. And then what I could do in theory is actually like pretend that all of this is just moved over 16 studs. What I could do is actually just leave it just like this, where it's a two-way road and then a one-way road over here. So then cars that are on this side of the road can go straight through, or they can turn right. And then cars that are coming this way can either turn right or go straight, or I guess turn left. Actually, they could do that too. So there's a couple different options here. Or what I could do is make this a two-lane road through and through, and then this would have to get reduced in size. So that is an option. That is something to consider. I am considering that because I haven't gotten that far in the apartment building yet, and so I am considering that because I think that might be better overall for the city. And then that would pretty much be that, I think. And then over here would be pretty much the same, I think. I think leaving this reserved, and I say that in quotes because anything is really subject to change. But I think having this reserved for the diner would be good. And then the jazz club and then the Parisian restaurant over here. I think that's probably the best way to go about this because I liked those buildings back here. I thought they looked nice. And then this double road here would turn into one. And then obviously all of this would go. And then trains would come around here to this. Again, this is the main line. This would be, well, the engine shed would be here. And then Yeah, that would pretty much be that, I think. And then so I'm kind of just walking around the rest of it. Not all of the buildings are on the table at the moment. I'm still missing the Parisian restaurant, the pet shop, and a couple of my custom buildings as well. So let me go and grab those, and then we can start to work on the layout a little bit more. And so now that I've moved over those buildings there to make the area make a little bit more sense, so you can see the track and then the extra 32 studs for buildings, and then the gap there where you can see the wood is for the road, and then the Palace Cinema, and then there's now a base plate and a half here, and then the corner build. Now that that's all kind of in place, I don't know if the Tudor Corner and the police station would look good here. So I took the Tudor Corner out, and I'm going to try the Assembly Square there next. I think that might work out pretty good, and then maybe we'll try the Grand Emporium here. Not totally sure about that. I don't have enough corners, surprisingly. I feel like I can't find any more corner builds. I have the Boutique Hotel, the Grand Emporium, the Palace Cinema, the Brick Bank, the Sanctum Sanctorum, and the Tudor Corner makes 6. And 4 corners go into here, and then this makes 5, and then I just have 1 extra, I guess. So I actually don't have, I knew obviously I wasn't gonna have enough buildings, but I'm surprised that corners were the thing that I'm short on. Obviously I knew I'd be short on the straight buildings, but that is something that I wasn't really expecting. Now that I've moved the museum over, I am still not sure about it. Let me know what you think about it. I am still kind of considering it. I don't know how I feel about that yet, but now that that's over there, and then the Botanical Garden might also end up over there, I was thinking maybe where the Grand Emporium is, I center the Town Hall, and then I add wings on either side. So instead of just the Town Hall modular building, it has like these little like corners to it, so it kind of wraps around. I think that might look really good there, and then I wouldn't need a corner build there. I can move that over somewhere else. So maybe I do that. Maybe that is kind of what I do, but I have to build the town hall first, so I can't do that quite yet. I'm still waiting on the pieces from Lego, but that is pretty much that. Honestly, I am going to try the assembly square over there, like I said, and then this row of buildings will probably change as well as a result. So I will let you know what I come up with right now. All right, so it's actually been a couple of, I think about a day or two since I filmed that last clip, and a whole bunch of stuff has changed, as you can see. But we are gonna just kind of move from right to left here. This, I don't know, column, I guess, of base plates here hasn't changed. I'm happy with this. I'm gonna leave it for the time being. I have yet to do my research on the Trixbricks track and all that kind of stuff. So just leaving that for the time being. The Boutique Hotel has remained here. I am actually considering moving it to like rotating it 180 degrees and then putting it somewhere over there. I think that would be good, and then I could have more buildings down this way, and then we could figure out this whole section too. That's kind of what I'm thinking, and then in place of this, I could put the Botanical Garden here, because after putting these green base plates down, I don't think that Botanical Garden would look good there. I could make it work, but I don't know if it'd be too crowded. So I don't own it yet, so I can't really make that decision. So that's kind of what I've been thinking. And then over here, like I said, I moved the Grand Emporium out of the way, and I put the town hall here. And I also moved this road up because this kind of awkward green space in the middle wasn't really working for me. So just made this one big area here. And coming a little closer, you can start to see that I started building the town hall. I got maybe 5 or 6 steps in, and then I am missing a couple pieces in the auditorium area, I guess is what they call it, where they have the speaker and all that. That's where this open space is here for the building. But I centered it between these 2 base plates here because, like I said, I was considering making those wings on either side. So then this would be part of the town hall, as with that, and then the actual modular building itself would be this, and it would go straight up. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I think that looks pretty decent. And then I took the Jazz Club and the Parisian restaurant out from the back, and I'm just trying them here to see what I think, and I don't think it's too bad. I think this works. It has potential to work in this layout here. I might end up taking all of this and moving it down one and then placing another building between this and then the town hall. But I can't do that yet. I have to destroy all of that first. And then I don't like the police station here, but I don't know where else to put it. So that is kind of that for the time being. It's just kind of filler. If I move the boutique hotel over to here, I might also put the police station here. That is to be decided, but I think it's just a good filler building for now in that area, just to kind of show me where the road is going to go, where this road's going to go, and all that stuff. And then you notice this is different as well. I put the Assembly Square here, and I put the Grand Emporium here, as well as the pet shop. I think that works. I think that looks pretty decent. I might end up swapping the Palace Cinema and the Grand Emporium. I haven't decided yet. I also don't know how I feel about the pet shop next to the detective's office. That is something that I want to think about. I've kept it here for like a day now at this point, and I still don't know how I feel about it. So I can't imagine that's an overly positive thing. So maybe I should change that, but the museum is here. I don't remember if it was here the last time, but the green base plates are definitely new. And then coming down this way, you can see that I added in that other segments of the double wide road here. And so it actually extends pretty far, and I think it looks pretty decent. And you'll notice the Tudor Corner is over here as well, along with the Holiday Main Street set right behind it here. And I think that looks pretty good. I think that area is a decent spot for it. And then I can figure out some other buildings to put next to the Holiday Main Street, and then we can kind of work our way around and then go from there. I would love to add the Avengers Tower and the Daily Bugle to the city here and then put them in the back. I think that'd be really, really cool. But unfortunately, I just don't have them at this point in time. And so maybe in the future I could get them. But as of right now, I'm not planning on adding them in the near future. As for this area, this is still completely up in the air here. I am set on having 48 studs wide base plates here that are lower and on this section of table, and then like 32 to anywhere from like 16 to 48 studs out here all the way down. And then I have another raised section in the middle here that has buildings and other things on it as well. And then the road would come down here, and then the boutique hotel would probably sit about here, if I decide to move it, of course. And then the police station could go next to it, and then I could figure out a couple other buildings for it, and then that would pretty much be that, I think. So that is pretty much where I'm at the moment. I'm going to work on this a little bit more and try and refine this just a little bit, because some of this works for me, some of this doesn't, and I would like to get to a decent spot before I wrap up the video here, just so I can have a few different options for you guys so that I can get some good feedback. All right, so not much has changed since that last clip. What you'll notice is that the police station is gone, and I moved it over to here with the boutique hotel. I think that's a pretty good spot for it, actually. I think that looks pretty good. And these buildings look decent from this other side here as well. So even if I come down this way and take a look at the city and the museum and all that, it's not an ugly look, I don't think. So I think that's fine. I think that looks pretty good. And then you'll notice these two green plates here, I didn't clean them off yet, and so that's why it still looks like this. But this is where I'm thinking the botanical garden would go. I am not totally sure how I feel about it so close to the train tracks. I might just push it up 16 studs, or maybe even 8. And then that way it would kind of look like, let's say I moved it up 8. It would be right about there, I think. And then that would give it a little bit of breathing room on either side. I think that could work as well. I think that might look pretty good. And putting a short thing here would really help open up this entire area here. And then so we'd have the botanical garden, this green space out front of the town hall, and then the green space out in front of the museum as well. And then this, these 16 studs here would be more greenery, and then this road would come straight through here, as well as down that way and down that way. I don't know if the road is going to come this way it could. I don't see why it won't be able to, but that's something I have to decide as well. As for this green, because it's a lot of green space right in the front here, because then there's also this as well. So what I might end up doing is taking those two green base plates out and then moving the town hall up a base plate. I think that might work. And then that just leaves more room for buildings in this back block here. And then that is pretty much that. So that's where I'm at currently. This is what the city is currently looking like. Let me take a little bit of a step back for you so you can kind of start to see everything together. And I think this looks really, really good. I think we're off to a great start rebuilding the city here. So that's going to wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what I did, make sure to like the video and subscribe, as well as click the bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads, like adding the town hall to this city, as well as the botanical garden, and fleshing out all of the roads and train tracks and things like that. If you guys have any feedback for me, make sure to drop a comment down below to let me know what you think. A lot happened in today's video, so your guys' feedback would be greatly appreciated. But once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.